Rick Ross has spent years acting like he's unbothered, but his baby mama just spilled the truth, and it's way worse than anyone thought. The man who built his empire on being a boss, losing sleep over one person he can't outrun, 50 Cent. And when Ross finally clapped back, it wasn't just about pride, it was about survival. The way 50 dismantled Ross from the inside out will make you wonder how he even stayed standing. And y'all, it all started with a look. That's right, one glance at the 2008 BET Awards, and suddenly, Rick Ross had a personal vendetta against 50 Cent. Now, here's the funny part. 50 had no idea. He didn't even remember seeing Ross that night. But Ross, he took it as disrespect. And in the world of hip-hop, that's basically a declaration of war. At the time, Ross was at the top of his game. 2 platinum albums in, living large, solidifying his image as the ultimate rap boss. But when he locked eyes with 50, something in him just snapped. Maybe it was paranoia, maybe it was clout chasing. Either way, he made a move that would change his career forever.
Is there anything about Ross and his career that you have any respect for?
Oh, no, there's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
Ross didn't just throw a little shade in an interview. He went straight for the jugular with mafia music. In the track, Ross made a not-so-subtle reference to the house fire that nearly took out 50's baby mama and their son. At first glance, it might sound like typical rap bravado, but everyone knew what Ross was implying. He was throwing dirt on a situation that 50 had already been accused of orchestrating. Shaniqua Tompkins, 50's ex, even publicly blamed him for the fire, which destroyed the entire house while 6 people were inside. Ross capitalized on that controversy, and it didn't take long for 50 to respond. But Ross didn't just stop at the diss track. He also started making bold claims about his dominance in hip-hop, acting like he had already won the war before it even started. But if there's one thing 50 Cent knows how to do, it's how to drag a rap beef into personal territory. 50 wasn't about to just release a diss track. He was about to dismantle Rick Ross's entire public persona. That's when he went digging, and what he found changed everything.
The problem? 50 Cent wasn't even thinking about him. But Ross took this imaginary beef and ran with it, launching an all-out attack. And that's where he messed up. Because nobody in rap beefs like 50 Cent, and he wasn't just gonna drop a diss track. He was about to tear down Ross's entire public persona. Ross kicked things off with his diss track Mafia Music, where he crossed a serious line. He referenced a house fire that nearly killed 50's baby, mama and son, a fire that 50's ex publicly blamed him for. Ross knew what he was doing. He was throwing dirt on a real-life tragedy. And 50, he did not let that slide. 50 wasn't just gonna respond, he was about to destroy Ross from the inside out. He went digging, and what he found? Game over. First up, 50 exposed Ross's past as a correctional officer. Now Ross had built his brand on being a street boss, a hustler, a real one. But 50, he had receipts. Pictures of Ross in a correctional officer uniform spread like wildfire. And suddenly, the man rapping about pushing weight was outed as someone who was literally working in a prison. But 50 didn't stop there.
Not only did 50 help Tia get her Lil Magazine moment, but he made sure Ross knew exactly who was behind it. Fast forward to today, and these two are still finding ways to take shots at each other. The latest chapter, Rick Ross linking up with Big Meech after his prison release, a move that pissed 50 off, given that he's the executive producer of the BMF TV series, which 50 saw as the ultimate betrayal. He hopped on Instagram with a post featuring a giant rat with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." That wasn't even the worst part. In the caption, 50 made it clear that Meech made the biggest mistake by distancing himself from one key person, Tammy Cowens. If you're asking who, trust, you're not alone. Tammy was Meech's assistant and business partner back in the day, but plot twist, she allegedly flipped and became an FBI informant. And just in case that wasn't enough, Ross jumped into the mess, laughing at how pressed 50 was over Meech taking a picture with him.
Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a nigga, put your back against the wall and just slide down.
The back and forth is endless, but there's one person who might enjoy making fun of Ross just as much as 50 does, and that's Tia. She dragged Ross into Diddy's freak-off party scandal, claiming Ross was involved in some of the same shady dealings that got Diddy hit with federal sex trafficking charges.
Like the f***ing Diddy doula parties! I mean, that's another thing. When is we gonna see you over there with Sean Cole?
She straight up told Ross to check on his friend, throwing shade at their past parties and that weird social media bromance they had.
Go give dog a f***ing hug like I said. He was on his nuts! fucking year. You and Callie, big fat Callie, your fat ass go out there and cut your yard trying to go viral like Will with no shoes on. Boy, we know goddamn you ain't cutting nothing but a fucking tomahawk.
That's not even the first time she called him out. Tia also took to Instagram Live, clowning Ross for staying quiet about what Diddy did.
Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky I know you is. 10 churn have It's time to show them churns now. I ain't gonna let off you.
Tia wasn't just ranting, though. She came with receipts and wasn't afraid to name drop.
So we finna clock this tea right here. Renee says you want to stay keeping up. We finna talk about some real tea.
Tia went deeper, claiming Rose himself was involved in putting hits on people.
Your brother over there paying people to put hits out. He over there paying people to put hits out. And running off with his money and it's getting back to me. So now I'm finna send the feds over there to y'all motherfucking empire. See, you had the right bitch today, ho.
He went straight to the source, Ross's own baby mama, Tia Kemp. And she did not hold back. She aired out all his business, exposing Ross as a fake boss who was renting cars, jewelry, and even his own image. He spends $200 a month on food, $300 on clothes, his jewelry is rented. Then, 50 took pettiness to another level. He took Tia on a shopping spree, then flew Ross's own son to Vegas with Floyd Mayweather. And where was Ross? Silent. That was one of the most disrespectful moves in hip-hop beef history. But 50 wasn't done. He went too far when he leaked a private tape featuring another one of Ross's baby mamas. And that backfired. She sued him for $5 million, forcing 50 to file for bankruptcy. For the first time in this war, 50 actually took an L. But Ross, he kept pushing forward. The correctional officer Ricky Meme faded, and somehow he survived the storm. Fast forward to now, and just when we thought this beef was over, Ross's baby mama decided she wasn't done. Tia Kemp jumped on Instagram Live and let the world know. Rick Ross is still scared of 50 Cent. Why? Because 50 knows too much. And she hinted that Ross is involved in something way darker than just rap beef. Then, the internet caught fire when old photos resurfaced of Tia Kemp in a magazine photo shoot. With 50 Cent, yeah, 50 literally posed with Ross's baby mama in a thirst trap photo shoot. But Ross, instead of clapping back, he tried to play chess. His move? Linking up with Big Meech after his release from prison. That pissed 50 all the way off, because 50 is the executive producer of the BMF TV series. To 50, that was a betrayal. He posted a picture of a giant rat with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." Translation? He was calling Meech a snitch. Then he called out Ross for cozying up to informants, hinting that Meech had cut ties with the wrong people. And if that wasn't wild enough, Ross's baby mama jumped in again, this time dragging him into Diddy's freak-off party scandal. Yup, Tia implied that Ross was involved in the same shady dealings that got Diddy hit with federal trafficking charges. Go check on your friend, Ross. You were right there with him. She also hinted that Ross might have some other dirt that hasn't even come out yet. And then, things got real dark. She brought up a murder case. Tia named a woman named Miss Carol, claiming that her death was connected to Ross and his people. She even said she was going to make sure her family sues Ross's entire estate. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this just went from rap beef to a full-blown crime documentary. And Ross, he's been suspiciously quiet. Meanwhile, Tia is out here exposed, saying Ross has more kids than he can count and a secret child with a Russian woman. She even revealed how Ross tried to ship their son off to Mississippi just to keep him away from her. And the worst part? Ross was a no-show at his son's high school graduation. He had time for football games, but not for his son's biggest milestone. And Tia? She's had enough. She's done being quiet. Ross even tried to silence her with cease and desist letters, but she basically told him, "Try me." So at this point, what's the truth? Is Rick Ross hiding something serious? And did 50 actually win this beef? Or did Ross somehow survive the worst dragging in rap history? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because trust me, this is far from over. And if you thought this was wild, check out this next video.